Bada bing, bada bam.
Welcome to this week's Bacon a Mystery, Baking a Murder episode. And listen, I'm so freaking excited. We redid our whole bedroom. It's been a long time coming. We said that we were going to do this like 3 years ago when we first moved in here. It is now done 3 years later and we're about to move out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We're going to stay here for a very long time because look at it. This is not a set. This is not a back, like what do you call it? Like a green screen. Some people think that like some of our things are green screened. That is actually a wall.
It's a blue screen, guys.
No, we painted our room blue, okay? So welcome to this week's Bacon or Murder episode. Listen, I do want to clarify something because this is the first episode in our new bedroom and I did part 1 of Verity and every single person in the comments was like, bitch, you stop it right now. Be fucking for real right now. I'm not gonna put up with this shit for a month, okay? So I listened to the comments and we have switched over to another highly requested book and series. Please don't yell at me for this one because I'm gonna finish it because I'm already so into the book. It's called The Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. And I'm stoned. I've been waiting to do a BAM on this. This is gonna be a 3-parter, potentially a 4-parter, depending on how crazy the ending gets. It's gonna be uploading on Mondays, but it is a fantasy novel that has been all over Book Talk, all over my Kindle store. Literally, I cannot escape The Fourth Wing. I don't even know what that means. So I need to know why. This is actually a trilogy. There's 2 books already released, and I think Rebecca Yarros is releasing the 3rd one in 2025, so early next year. So that being said, I'm just going to drop you into the middle with no warning, no context, just our main girly pop, Violet. Everyone thinks that they're going to die on the first day of college. And you know, it's cute. It's dramatic. Oh my God, classes are going to kill me. I need to talk to people. I'm going to die. I have social anxiety. Yeah, well, at the Basquiat War College, half the students do die on the first day. Call it natural selection or call it I took your tuition, but now I don't have to feed you because you're dead. Silly goofy. I don't know. Call it whatever you want, but this college is freaking intense, okay? In order to, not die, thousands of new students will show up on the first day and they have trained for this first day since the day of their birth. Intense physical training, combat training. Violet, she's trained for 6 months. So yeah, she's totally gonna die, okay? She's dying right now, just walking up the stairs with her big ass backpack on. And to be fair, the backpack does weigh 30 pounds. The dorm that she's trying to move into has this rule that whatever you can fit into your backpack is all you have for the rest of the school year. That's it. And maybe they give you some stuff, but those are your natural possessions. Your human possessions is what fits in that backpack. So Violet has shoved it with 30 pounds of books. That's what she's bringing. She loves books.
They don't have Kindles or anything?
No, are you kidding? They have dragons in this world, but they don't have Kindles.
It's one of those.
It's one of those. Okay, so there's these guards lined up along the hallway at the top. They don't even say hi. They don't even look at Violet. I mean, I guess that makes sense. 50% chance that she's going to be dead by the end of the night. So what's the point in saying hi? Now, Violet is going to knock on this big wooden door and she's about to. Her hand is mid-air. This is the general's room. The headmaster, if you will. So this is a war college. This general is the general of the military, like a high-ranking official. But they also happen to be the headmaster of this college. It's one of the most powerful people in the entire nation, an elite commander of the army, of the military. Before Violet can knock, she hears someone screaming on the other side. You do realize that she's gonna die, right? And you're just okay with this? Violet slowly reaches for the door handle, swings it open, and the force of her pushing the heavy wooden oak door open and her 30-pound backpack, she loses her balance. She trips into the room and she saves herself by grabbing the couch that's right in front of the door. And she's like, this is so natural. I just walk into rooms like this, okay? There's 2 women in the office. They're facing each other. They look like carbon copies of one another. One just looks a lot younger than the other one, but they have the same aura. They're tall, powerful. They command a presence. They're practically glowing. Their skin is sun-kissed, but it's not from being at the beach. It's more so being in a war. If either of them walk into a strategy room or even a conference room, let's say they walk into fucking open AI and they sit down at the head of the table, nobody knows who they are. That's obviously not Sam Altman, okay? But they just utter the word water, You better believe they're going to have bottles of water appear in front of them. That is their energy. They have this unspoken confidence that is honestly borderline arrogance there. Very different from Violet, who is now leaning on the couch trying to stabilize her breath. You know that thing that you do when you walk up the stairs but you're with people, so you have to act like you're not out of breath? Or when you go hiking with the LA girly pops and you got to act like you're not winded when they're just like hanging out talking about Erewhon and you're like... and you have to let it out. That's what she's doing right now, okay? So Violet is smiling sheepishly at both of them, and they both look concerned, okay? One looks a little bit more genuinely concerned, like, oh no, are you okay? And the other one is like, are you okay? That's how they're looking at her. I'm fine, I'm good, guys. Violet turns to the older woman, the general, the headmaster of the school, who looks slightly disgusted at her lack of balancing skills and core strength. Hi, Mom. Then she turns to the younger one who's in a lieutenant uniform. Mira, I missed you. So this is her mom and sister. Violet has not seen her older sister in years. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Mira came to see her off for the first day of college, considering, I don't know, she could fucking die, plop dead today. So there's that. Mira is smiling at her, but then she turns to her mom and her face is angry. She's the only one in the world that would ever dare yell at the general. Like even Violet, her other daughter, would never dare. Violet is a scribe, Mom. You know it. Her whole life, that's what it revolved around. And then 6 months ago, suddenly you want her to train to be a writer? You know what that is, right? That's a death sentence. That's a death wish for your own child.
The mother is the general?
Yeah, the mother's the general, the headmaster of the school.
La la.
Now, both of them are staring at her, and Violet feels extra self-conscious. She's basically the opposite of them, okay? They're tall, she's short, they got toned muscles. Violet looks like she's one constipated poop away from snapping in half. Like she's gonna push a little too hard on the toilet, and boop, her bone breaks. She looks very weak. She looks very frail. Like a constipated poop is gonna knock her out. They have this golden brown hair and sun-kissed skin. Violet, this is interesting. She looks like neither of her parents. She's got very pale skin, pale eyes, pale hair. Her hair literally fades into a metallic silver color at the ends. And it doesn't help that most of Violet's life she spent it indoors too, in the library with her dad while her mom was out there commanding things. I don't know, killing people in the name of peace or whatever, okay? Violet was always with her dad. That is before he died last year. He was a scribe. He was a really, really good scribe. He was known as one of the great scribes. So one of the 4 quadrants at the school, I'm going to explain the whole thing in a second, but Violet actually grew up at this school that she's going to attend. So her mom started as an instructor, then she became a general, then she became the headmaster, and her dad was a scribe. Right? So this is the Basquiat War College. There are 4 quadrants or houses that you can join. The 4 are healer, scribe, infantry. Infantry is like the general army. And then you have rider. Guess what they're writing, bitch? Guess what they're writing? Dragons. They're writing dragons. The big D. They're writing dragons, okay? I'm imagining.
What are you writing dragons?
They're writing the dragons.
Oh, they're riding, like sitting on the dragon.
Yeah.
Oh, I keep hearing riding.
Oh, no, they're like mounting the dragon.
Oh, okay. So we got
healers.
Healer. So they like put magic on people, heal people.
Yeah, they just be putting magic on people. Yeah, I think they use their skills and magic and powers to heal.
Okay.
And then you have scribes. So
that?
these are like your librarians, but they're very smart. I feel like they're pulling the strings.
Yeah.
I feel like they're always underrated, but they're like the intelligence group.
Strategy.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
So they record everything in the history of their whole realm, their kingdom, and they have all the archives and they go through them, and they're like they always log, and they're reading and nonstop doing shit like that. Okay, they're basically historians, researchers, writers, storytellers, all of them and above. Okay,
so that's where you would be at.
I don't know, where would you be?
Me?
Yeah,
I gotta ride. I gotta be on a dragon, baby. What do you mean?
Okay, so then you have infantry, like the general army. So these are like combat folks, okay? They just be hand fisting, hand, foot, mouth disease and this shit, okay?
Can't be me.
And then you have the riders, okay?
Are they the coolest?
They're the coolest.
Okay.
But they're also, they die really fast.
Why?
Oh, dragons really like to kill people, and you can fall off. And riders like to kill each other, and then the other kingdoms like to kill riders.
But
They're the hottest for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining the healers, they are healing with the innate powers. And I think healing is actually one of the harder ones to get into. Same with scribe and rider. I think infantry is like the easiest to get into. And then the riders, they be doing all of them. They need to be strategic. They need to be quick. Their brains have to move fast like the scribes, but they also need to combat like the infantry members, and they need to know how to ride a dragon. That's why they're called the riders. They are the highest in the military social hierarchy. If you're a rider, everybody steps out of the way for you. You are a natural born leader, mainly because riders are bonded with a dragon. So at the end of the year, the first years, they get presented with I don't know what you call a group of dragons, but they get presented with a group of dragons, and the dragons pick a human to bond with. But they only pick ones that are worthy. So you could make it the whole year of school and not get picked by a dragon.
Like, do we know how big are the dragons here?
It depends. Some of them are massive. Some of them are so big that I am probably the size of one tooth on them. Yeah, okay. You gotta ride them.
So it's kind of like the Harry Potter type of giant, big-ass dragon.
Massive. They're not like the cute little...
Yeah.
They're like the breathing fire dragons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like Game of Thrones dragons.
Cool. Okay,
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And they also have a mind of their own.
Okay, do they talk?
I think telepathically to you if you're bonded with them, but I don't think they like sit down and they're like, "Hey, bitch."
So no English, no Chinese.
No Chinese. I don't think they're like, "Ni hao, bitch." Okay. 我要睡, bitch. I don't think. Okay. So anyway, the riders are bonded with the dragon, and the dragons are notorious for just like lighting random people on fire if they get pissed off. And it's actually a miracle if a rider is alive, because most of the time they die early due to the nature of their positions. And of course, the general, the mom, she was a rider herself. She would rather die than watch any of her children join any quadrant other than riding. Mira tries to reason with their mom in the office. Dad would have wanted Violet to be a scribe mom. Yes, but your father is also dead. I doubt that he has a strong opinion anymore. Sending Violet to the rider's quadrant is the same as watching her die. You do get that, right? Just look at her. She's constantly injured from, I don't know, moving heavy books around in the library. She's not even tall enough to ride a dragon, let alone stay alive on a flying dragon in combat. Violet is standing there like, oh, shit. Okay, why am I laying down getting shot? I might not be tall, but I still have some dignity. Like, hello? I'm right here. Mira, Violet is small, yes. But if any of my children are capable of surviving the rider's quadrant, it'll be Violet. It's a very interesting thing to say. Maybe it's a compliment, but it's also an interesting thing to say in front of Mira, who is one of the most celebrated riders of her time, her older sister. She's going to be a legend. When her dragon, when and if she ever dies, she will go down in history as one of the greatest riders. Violet, on the other hand, maybe she would have had a chance at going down in history as the best scribe, but not a rider. I mean, everyone in the room knew that for a fact. Mom, do you even care about Violet? Do you just want to bury another child? Is that what you're trying to do? All three of them go quiet in the office. It always goes quiet when someone brings up Brennan. He's been dead for 5 years, but nobody really talks about him. Violet says, Mom tolerates me, respects Mira, but she loved Brennan. He died fighting in the rebellion, and a year after he died, Dad died from a heartache. So Violet starts glancing around, trying to figure out what to do, what to say, because it's getting real awkward. But her mom's eyes, they just go cold again. The general is back. The remorseless, cold, some would say very heartless general is back. Back to your station, Lieutenant. Get out of my office before I report your absence to your unit. Mira does not fight back. Instead, she straightens up her posture like a lieutenant, nods like she just took a regular command from any of her superiors, turns on her heel, and walks out. The general, Violet's mom, turns back to Violet, and her eyes kind of soften a little bit, and her voice goes a little bit quieter. Like, that's when you know she's going into mom mode. It's not even much. She's still the general, but it's like a little bit better, I guess. And she leans down. Soaring Gales excel. So they're Soaring Gales. That's their last name. We will always prevail. You scored in the top percentile for speed and agility for the entrance exams. Okay? She walks closer, and she brushes the silver hair from Violet's cheek. You look so much like your father. And then she turns it off. The general is back. Do not expect me to take it easier on you or offer you any sort of special privileges considering our relations. I will not be acknowledging you as my daughter for the next 3 years that you are in this school. I am your superior officer and your headmaster, and I will treat you as such. Yeah, okay, well, nothing fucking new. I feel like she was already doing that. Violet's like, got it. Good. Then I will see you at the threshing. The threshing is when the trainees of the rider quads, they're going to see if they're worthy of a dragon picking them. I'll tell you more later about it, but essentially there's a limited number of dragons and they choose the riders that they wish to bond with. But some dragons will go years without choosing a rider. Because once they make that bond, it's unbreakable. So it's very important that a good dragon picks you too. It's very complicated. So dragons can live without a rider. They can live. Even if they bond with the rider and the rider dies, dragons will live. But if a dragon dies after bonding, the rider dies.
What?
The rider will die without their dragon.
What?
Once they've bonded, once that bond is severed, they're dead.
What?
Yeah.
That is okay.
Yeah, and it's like really intense. And it's a very big moment because the more powerful the dragon that bonds with you, you actually gain special magical powers once you're bonded with a dragon. They share some of their powers with you. So it really depends on how powerful your dragon is.
I see.
So it's like your power, the dragon's power all meshed together. And like if you get a really powerful person, a rider, and a really powerful dragon, you're going to be unstoppable.
Okay, I love it. Is there
So-
ranks to the dragons?
I think we're going to find out soon. Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's a big moment, but also there's no guarantee that no one even like makes it this far, right? You could die at any moment during training. They're both thinking that, but neither of them even mention it. This is as much as mother-daughter emotion as the general can give out. And with that, Violet is dismissed from her office.
How old is Violet?
I think like 18.
Oh.
Yeah, college. So when she steps out into the hallway, her sister Mira's waiting for her. That lady is fucking insane. Shh, the guards are gonna tell her what you said. What, you think the guards don't agree? The guards' faces expressionless. But Violet would like to believe. They too think their mother is crazy, okay? Mira starts walking towards Violet's room. Well, okay, old room. Let me explain. Violet actually grew up at the school, like I was talking to you about. Like her dad was a full-on scribe there and her mom was an instructor, then the headmaster. So she's very familiar with the grounds. But now she's actually gonna be a student. So she's very certain for her whole life, she thought she was gonna be a scribe. But 6 months ago, her mom was like, yeah, no fucking child of mine is gonna be a scribe.
Wow. Okay.
So Mira pushes her into the room and grabs her backpack from her. Ow, what do you do? Brennan did this for me and I'm going to do it for you. She starts emptying out 30 pounds of books, clothes, and other materials on the ground. Again, whatever you bring in your backpack is all you get to keep in the writer's quadrant. Mira looks disgusted. And take off those god-awful boots, Violet. Here, put these on. She throws at Violet's face, basically, an all black leather outfit, skin tight, and a pair of writer's boots. And like Violet is dressed like a scribe right now. Like she's got them flowy pants on. She's got a cute little sweater. She's ready to drink a cup of tea and read a book. Okay, she's not ready to ride a fucking dragon. She's like, what the hell, Mira? Violet looks down at the boots. They're her size, exactly, with rubber bottom soles. They're custom made for her. When did you look at the bottom of your current shoes? It's a death wish. Are you crazy? Is that what you want? Look at how smooth the surface of your soles are. You get up on that bridge in your current shoes and you're gonna fucking die. Okay, so really quick, it's called the parapet, and I'm basically going to call it a bridge. It's a bridge, but the sadistic writer quadrant has a bridge that you need to get past into to get into their building on your first day. It's not really a bridge that you have to cross every day, because once you cross it, you're like on campus and all the other campuses connect into each other, so you can like go visit the healers without crossing that bridge again. But it's just a challenge. It's like your first day challenge, okay? It's 200 feet in the air and it's only 18 inches wide.
18 inches wide. How much is 18 inches, huh?
A foot and a half.
Okay, so you have to walk on that without falling.
And the surface is a smooth, like some parts are smooth as glass, some parts are like pebbly stone, and it just goes on for a really long time, 200 feet in the air. The theory being, if you can't even cross a bridge like that with rain and wind 200 feet in the air, with all the elements pushing your body to the side, swaying back and forth, trying to get you to fall, how on earth are you going to ride a dragon in combat? That is where a lot of the candidates actually die on the first day of school. They fall 200 feet to their death. An embarrassing, meaningless, anticlimactic death. Like, at least die in combat, right? Imagine if the general's daughter died on the bridge before training even began. Violet's mother would find her in the afterlife, kill her once more for fucking embarrassing her, and then come back to current life. Meanwhile, Mira is tossing book after book to the side. Wait, stop, I want all of those. I'm bringing those. Okay, then you can die reading these. Is that what you want? You're never gonna make it past the bridge if you take these with you. Yeah, well, wait, that one's from Dad. Dad would rather you stay alive than die with his old book of folklores about dark magic powers that are coming to attack. The only book Mira lets her keep is the one on how to kill people with poison. Violet changes into Mira's clothes, skin-tight leather pants, a black shirt, and there's like this vest-style corset. It's black. It's a mixture of both. It looks like a bulletproof vest, but make it coquette because it's a corset. You know what I mean? It also has hidden sheaths sewn diagonally along the rib cages for daggers. 4 of them, hidden, discreet, easily accessible. The corset vest is just plain black on the outside, but on the inside, it's shiny. They're not like sequins or glitter, but it's a vest made out of snakeskin, and the smell is unmistakable. Dragon scales. From Mira's own dragon? Wait, how? Aren't your dragon scales massive? Mira's now braiding Violet's hair at this point, and she's smirking. Well, lucky for you, I know a writer who has very special powers. He can make big things very, very small.
Wait, what is the thing? What is it? Dragon what?
Scales. Like their skin.
Like a skin.
Yeah.
So they took one of their like little skin and then shaved it into like a vest?
Yeah. I think it has protection somehow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And anyway, I know a writer. Lucky for you, he can make big things very small. And lucky for me, he can make small things very big.
Oh, disgusting shit.
Violet,
like in front of your sister?
Yeah, Violet smirks and Mira scolds her to keep her hair braided or chop it off. In battle, your hair is just a liability. First of all, it's easy to grab. An easy way to subdue someone is drag them down by their hair. And second of all, it's an easy way to spot your target. If someone is going after you, Violet, you're at a disadvantage. Nobody else has silver hair, metallic silver. Did you read through the rule books for training? The other cadets can kill you at any point or whatever reason they so please. Or, well, they can try to kill you. Except at night, Mira. When cadets are asleep, it is an executable crime to attack a cadet while they are asleep. I read that in Article 3. Violet, I'm just going to tell you right now. There might be rules, but once you're in there, there's only survival and death. Competition is high. You're never safe. At night while you're sleeping, never. You're never safe. Don't get comfortable. So please wear the corset that I gave you when you're in bed and keep the daggers in there. And when you're sparring during combat training sessions, keep the corset on you at all times. Wear it like armor. Aren't I technically not allowed to wear things like this? Like you have to earn the black uniforms? You're a Sorngale, Violet. Don't ever forget it. Basically, her family name is just hot shit.
So they get some privilege.
Yeah. She's like, fuck everybody. So the two leave the book slammed into the corner of the now empty old bedroom of Violet's, and they start making their way to the main entrance of the school. There's thousands of people gathered there, students, their parents. It's drop-off day. Their realm, Navarre, has 6 provinces, 6 districts, if you will. And every year, each district has to send a certain number of young people into the military. Now, of the group, each district sends, some of them are volunteers, some of them are straight up being punished for crimes like, oh, you committed theft, go fucking serve the military. Some of them are conscripted, meaning that they're enlisted technically against their will because they were just like randomly chosen, you know? Now, once you've been chosen to serve the military, you can now apply for the Basquiat War Academy. So that's like basically you can join the army, but you can also go to West Point, which is like the army school in the US. Which is, you know, you're going to join the army at a higher rank and you're trying to make a career out of the army. You're not just like joining the army, right? I mean, you can make a career without going through like West Point, but still it's like a more official route, like school route to go. And technically it counts as serving as the military, but you do have to pass an entrance exam because most people do want to go to the academy and not just straight to the military. So you have to pass this entrance exam, which is written tests and agility tests, physical stamina test. Otherwise, you're just basically sent to the front lines of whatever battle as a shield, like a buffer between you and the cadets that did go through schooling. The school itself is really beautiful. Objectively speaking, it's incredible. It's built into the side of the mountain, the Basquiat mountain, which I feel like I keep saying Basquiat, like the artist. Basquiat, I don't know. Guys, there's a lot of words in here I don't know how to pronounce. Like half the names. Can I just tell you something? Some of the people in this in this book, their names are like really crazy. Like the dragons have really crazy names. And then they're spelled all crazy. And then you got like random ass characters whose name are like Jack. Dylan. And then you're like, okay.
So what are you calling the dragon? Are you giving them nicknames?
No, I'm gonna try to call them by their given names.
Okay.
But it's really hard. And I'm gonna pronounce them however I feel they are pronounced.
Okay.
It's my world and you're just living in it. Okay. I'm just gonna be honest with you. So the school is built into the side of the mountain, which I'm sure at one point was to protect outsiders from coming in and harming the students. But when you're joining the writers, outsiders hurting you is like the least of your concerns. To give you context, there's just a line of wagons around the perimeter of the campus. They're black and they're just sitting there waiting because they know that there's going to be a lot of dead bodies today. They are there to whisk away the dead bodies. My sleep schedule is crazy because I keep staying up late to watch these shows that I want to do for BAM or read these books about dragons. And you know what? I have no regrets, but you should see my under eyes. They've seen better days. It's to the point where just concealer is not even helping anymore. I've just always been kind of self-conscious about my eye bags, but I started using this product from Thrive Cosmetics called the Brilliant Eye Brightener. Technically, it's not a concealer. It's more like a highlighter. So sometimes I'll even apply a little bit of concealer. Most of the times I don't. I apply this on top. It makes my eyes look so fresh and bright. Not to the point where it's distracting because I just use a moderate, nice amount and it just makes my eyes pop. Like, look at my eyes. Are they not like popping out of my skull right now? Like if you want to get more of a low-key effect, I suggest using a lighter shade and just dabbing it a little bit on the inner corners of your eyes. Even when I do no makeup days, like where I literally don't wear any makeup, I use this shade Stella, okay? It's perfect for the everyday look. I will dab a little bit on the inner corners of my eyes and I just look so awake and refreshed. But there's 16 other shades ranging all the way to metallics if you want to get that bold, smoky eye. Thrive is the best place to shop for cosmetics though, because every product is 100% vegan and cruelty-free with zero parabens, sulfates, and phthalates. I can't even pronounce phthalates. Phthalates? That's how you know it's bad, because if you can't pronounce it, you shouldn't be putting it on your skin. And Thrive also gives back by supporting communities that need a voice. So when you support Thrive, you also support important social causes. Refresh your everyday look with Thrive Cosmetics, luxury beauty that gives back. Right now, you can get an exclusive 10% off your first order at thrivecosmetics.com/bake. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/bake for 10% off your first order. The two, Mira and Violet, they make it to the courtyard, and the courtyard now splits into 4 directions. Each quadrant has their own quarters and entrance, but again, they're all connected in the center, but they have their own facility. So technically, you could be on campus and never leave your quadrant if you please. The infantry quarters has the most people, which makes the most sense because the barrier of entry for just like combat is the lowest. The healers are kind of hard to get into. The scribes are also hard to get into. You have to pass another entrance exam to get into the scribe quadrant. It's a lot. Meanwhile, the writers, they will walk not even just past a random door, okay? So all the other ones, they got these doors. They got these like fancy entrances. The writers, they just walk in through the base of a tower and then they climb up a flight of stairs 200 feet into the air and then they walk across a tiny 18-inch bridge to get to their quarters. You can see the tiny bridge from below and it looks like a tightrope, especially from down there. Violet's eyes travel all the way from the bridge all the way down to the bottom and smack. That's where she'd land. That's where she'll die. Mir turns to her. Don't lose your balance against the wind. Don't look down and keep your eyes trained on where you're stepping next. Don't hesitate. You just have to walk across. And don't let anyone cut you in line. The longer you wait, the more you think about it, the more you're going to second guess yourself. That's how you die. By second guessing yourself. That's how you fall. Violet nods. But she's just taking it all in. Parents are sobbing, having to use all their willpower to pull themselves off their children, who probably have a higher chance at surviving an apocalypse than the writing quad. Mira gives her some more sound advice. This is not a place you make friends. You know that, right? You forge alliances, but don't ever mistake them as your friends, because they're not going to consider you one either. Violet nods. And one more thing, Violet. When you get in there, you find Dane Atos. Dane? Violet lets out a smile. And she tries quickly changing her expression to be a bit more neutral. But Dane is the hottie with the body, okay? Violet is very excited to see him again. It's been a year since she last saw him. And Those brown eyes and that like body yada yada, the 8-pack. Girly is forgetting that she has a 50% chance at survival. She just wants to survive that D. She's envisioning his dragon inside of her den, and Mira is noticing. No. He's there to keep you safe. I hear he's been doing very well. You join his quadrant, but do not sleep with him. What? Why would you even? I'm serious. Do not sleep with anyone a year older than you unless you want everyone to say that you f***ed your way to protection and safety and into advancing. She's like, I'm serious. Do not sleep with anyone a year older than you unless you want everyone to say that you f***ed your way into protection and advancing. That kind of reputation is going to follow you wherever you go, even after you graduate. Okay, got it. Go fuck all the first years. Great sisterly advice. Exactly. Mira winks at her and Violet smiles a genuine carefree smile for the first time today because she's thinking about dick, not dragons, okay? Until she notices one of the other candidates in line for the Rider Quad. He's got this mark on top of his wrist, but it looks painful, but it's too uniform and too design-centric to be a scar. It looks like the mark of a dragon. So typically, dragons will use magic to mark their riders after they've bonded with them. And it's typically a symbol of power and honor, an unbreakable bond. And usually it's beautiful for that reason. You wear it with pride. But this one, the marking is very chaotic. There's swirling all over, like white swirling with slashes all over. It feels more like a negative branding. Mira notices Violet staring. That's a rebel kid. It's a mark from the rebellion. All the children whose parents rebelled were given those markings in front of their parents' faces before their parents were executed in front of theirs. General Malgren's dragon did all the markings so that we can always spot them out amongst us. Oh, shit. Mira looks like she just had a vision of like the prophecy or something and she didn't like the way it looked. What's going on? I almost forgot. Oh my God. Stay the hell away from Xaden Ryerson. What? Xaden? Yes, Ryerson. Xaden is his son. He's a 3rd year and he will kill you the second he finds out who the hell you are and what family you come from. Wait, Ryerson. His dad was the great betrayer, the one who led the rebellion, the ultimate traitor. Mom had him executed. What is his son doing in the Rider Quad? That doesn't even make any sense. Oh, you know where this is going. I see your little smile.
Bro, he's gonna be like so hot or something. But go on.
Go on. You don't know. The plot twist could be that he's not. Okay? Anyway, she's all like, the children from the leaders of the rebellion were automatically enlisted as punishment for the parents' crimes. You guys are so close in age, but we didn't think that it would be a concern. Honestly, Mom didn't think that Xander would even make it past the bridge the first day. But he did, and he was chosen by a dragon. Somehow he rose to the ranks of a wing leader. That's fucking bullshit. After what his dad did. He has sworn allegiance to Navarre, but you can never really trust that. Either way, when it concerns you, I don't think it matters where his allegiance is. He's going to try and kill you. So get in there, get past the bridge, find Dane, and stay as far away as you can from Xander. Yeah, of course. They make it all the way to the door, and Mira turns to Violet. She can't walk her to the bridge or even cross the bridge with her and hold her hand. This is where she's got to say goodbye. Don't die, Violet. I can't be alone with Mom. And with that, Mira walks off, and it's just Violet alone, surrounded by people who could technically try to kill her in the upcoming year. She's walking up the steep stairs that have no railing. It's a single file line with strangers. It's not the most pleasant, anti-anxiety inducing experience. The 2 people in front of her, they turn around mid-step, and the girl makes a comment. Tough reputation to live up to, no? Her sister is a famous writer. Mira's a famous writer, so it makes sense that all the people in the writer's quadrant would know her just by looking at her. So it makes sense. I mean, yeah, tough. Yeah, of course it is. So you're a Sorengale? Yep. Another guy turns around. As in the Sorengale? Violet just nods. Whoa, like the same as the general. They're both amazed at their proximity to the general's daughter, but a gust of wind comes by and they quickly do not care who's who because now she's getting serious.
I thought they just go, whee!
They go, bye!
Boom.
How many people do you think have died by falling before they even made it to the bridge? This is a guy asking. Just counting last year, the stairs, 2, 3 if you count the girl that was walking on campus when one of the guys fell on her. Not sure how you would define the number though. Okay, smartass Violet. Okay. The girl nods at Violet like, okay, that's a lot, but fine. We're just trying to make some small talk here. Geez, how many steps are here? 250. Some might find it annoying, but the girl in front seems to like it. She smiles. I'm Rhiannon, by the way. The blonde boy in the front turns around as well. And I'm Dylan. See what I mean? See what the fuck I mean? Okay? Xander, Dylan, really? Violet, nice to meet you. Violet was trying to keep it short because remember, her sister was all like, don't make friends, make alliances. You can't just be hee-hee with everyone you meet. It would be bad for alliance making. But Dylan sees this as his opening to tell Violet and Rhiannon his whole life story about how excited he is to be here. His parents were stressed. They tried to convince him to change his squad into the healer squad, but then he refused. And Rhiannon is like, oh my God, same with my parents. They were trying to make me. And then Dylan is like, I bet you were the first one to volunteer for the writer squad. After all, your family, they're like the most insane. Right, your mom, your sister, everybody knows Brennan died. Yeah, well, I didn't really volunteer. I was voluntold to join the writers. So I'm here. Oh, interesting. Normally, it's very fast to climb 250 steps, at least for people like this. But when you're in a single file line having to climb and you have to wait for people to cross the bridge or fall off the bridge for the next person to get on, it takes quite a bit of time. Time that Dylan spends telling them his whole life story of how excited he is. He promised his girlfriend at home that he was going to come home with the dragon, bonded to the baddest, bitchiest dragon in the world, and then he was going to propose to her on the dragon. He even opens up his collar of his shirt and there is an engagement ring just sitting in a necklace.
Oh, that's cute.
For good luck. Yeah. But they're all getting more and more anxious and nobody's really listening at this point because they're getting near the top. And they look out and the wagons that were waiting to whisk away the dead bodies, they look like ants, tiny little fucking ants. And another step up, Violet hears Rhiannon's shoes and she quickly whispers, Rhiannon, what size shoe do you wear? What? Hurry. I think like a size 8. Why? I'm size 7. Hurry and swap left shoes with me. Wait, I'm sorry, what? Do it quickly. We need to hurry and have them laced before we get to the top. The line is starting to move again.
Have them what?
Laced up.
Oh.
Wait, I don't get. Look at the bottom of your shoes. Are they smooth? You're going to slip right off the bridge. Trust me. I'm a size 7. Your foot is going to hurt, but the rubber soles are going to keep you alive. Hurry, take off your shoe. Rhiannon at first looks skeptical and confused, then scared knowing she chose the wrong shoe, but with a hint of appreciation. You're willing to swap shoes with me? Just one shoe, and just to cross the bridge, I want it back later. Hurry. They quickly swap left shoes, and Violet feels a shove from behind her. The guy behind her fucking shoves her, okay? She almost trips. She steps forward, and now she's at the top platform before the bridge. And there are 3 guys standing there. They're all in black leathers, meaning that they're writers. They're like third years. And they're taking names of all the candidates before they cross. That way they know which names fell off, literally. Yeah, okay. It's like roll call. So their families can be alerted and it's great. And cue the K-drama music. Jawline appears. That's all she sees. This man looks like he has TMJ, jaw locked and fucking loaded. Pew, 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 jet black hair, dark brows. Listen, if you don't already know, I'm going to tell you right now. If you don't already know, in fantasy books, blondies get no chance. Okay, this is the recipe. Blonde boy, brunette boy, moody girl, jet black hair, bad boy. Blonde boy's gonna make you smile. Jet black hair, bad boy is gonna make you whitewater adventure park slip and slide in your pants. That is all, okay? And he's tall. Violet probably comes up. She can't even reach his collarbone. He's just towering over her. Oh my God. He's got biceps for days. They should call his biceps the Andes mountain range because the way it just be ridging up and down and it won't stop. It just keeps going. He looks like a sculpted masterpiece. His features are so sharp yet perfect. His mouth. Oh my God. Violet is 1,000% objectifying this man literally seconds before potential death and doom. She's just like, I'm just a girl. He is the most exquisite man that she has ever seen in her life. At least she's gonna die having seen a hot ass dude. There's even a scar. I mean, like, tell me the story of how you got that scar. He has a scar on his left eyebrow and it goes to the corner of his cheek. The way she describes it is like, he's scorching hot. The gets you in trouble and you like it level of hot. Violet is too busy fantasizing about whether or not his dragon breathes fire. She barely registers Dylan getting onto the bridge. See you guys on the other side. The guy with the clipboard turns to the man sculpted straight from uranium. Shall we prep for the next one, Ryerson? Excuse me? Don't fucking tell me that is Xander Ryerson. Violet is busy processing the fact that the man she wants to choke her would actually enjoy choking her because he would genuinely want to commit homicide against her, murder her, kill her. And now she is confused. When Rhiannon turns around, she's about to step onto the bridge and she says, "You ready, Sorengale?" Violet's breath stops in her throat. Fuck. She glances up and now he's staring straight at her. And above his wrist is the rebellion mark swirling around. And there it is, in his eyes, pure fucking unadulterated absolute hatred. You're General Sorengale's youngest. Violet doesn't back down, because at least if he's going to try and kill her, he's going to have to look her in the eye while he does it. And you're Fen Ryerson's son. He steps closer. He doesn't break eye contact. Great, she's going to die before even getting on the bridge. Like, how pathetic is that? She didn't even die on the bridge. Your mother captured my father and had him executed. And you know what? This just fucking triggers Violet. Because all that fear of dying turns into icy rage in Violet's heart. And she could feel her eyes shooting daggers at him. And your father killed my older brother, Brennan. So I guess you could say that we're pretty fucking even here. Not even close. Suddenly, Violet has no plans on dying. The anger and grief of her brother dying is fueling her. She's gonna get across that fucking bridge because there's no way her sister Mira is losing another sibling. Violet is trying to get past Xander, but he's standing there, blocking her way onto the bridge. What? Are you gonna kill me now? Before he can even respond, there's a scream. Ah!
Boom.
Violet leans over to the side and sees Dylan flying off the bridge. Yeah, I know.
The proposal boy's gone? Come on. Man, I thought you... Oh, proposal boy.
Proposal boy, all the way down 200 feet in the ravine. Violet doesn't even hear how he lands. He's dead. Xander doesn't even turn around to see who it was or how they fell. He never breaks staring at Violet. And now with his arms folded across his chest, he smirks. Why bother getting my hands dirty when the bridge will do the job? Get on the bridge. You're next, Sorengale. Violet steps onto the bridge, and the only thing she is sure of right now is she's not gonna freaking die, at least not today. But the odds are really not in her favor, okay? It's starting to storm heavily the minute that she steps onto the bridge. The rain is coming down. There's a huge, periodic gust of wind that makes the trees down below look like they're dancing to a song that she should not be listening to. Or maybe they're swaying in excitement that someone's gonna fall and die and start fertilizing their roots. She steps out onto the podium leading to the bridge. One of the three guys asks her for her name, and she can feel Xander just staring her down on the side. Name? Violet Sorengale. Sorengale? As in General Sorengale? That's the one. This is exactly what Violet was dreading, because now everyone in the writer quad is going to either expect her to be as gifted as a writer as her mom, or a fighter like her sister, or expect her to be as strategic and smart like her brother, and she is none of those things. In that case, if they think she's that great, they're going to want to kill her because they don't like great competition. Or they're going to realize that she's none of those things, and they're still going to want to kill her just so that they can say that they killed a Sorengale.
Brutal.
Violet's ready. She steps out onto the bridge, but a gust of wind comes and she almost loses her balance. Her backpack sways to one side, almost throwing her off the bridge. She has to quickly balance herself, then tighten the straps around her shoulders. Close call already. She just stepped onto the bridge. The guy standing behind her in line smirks. Some fucking Sorengale. You're gonna get your whole wing killed. So some context. The ones who make it across the bridge, they get sorted into wings. When you're basically like, it's like a team for a good chunk of the training, and everything in training is very life or death. You could die, and it's a common thing that you're only as good as the weakest link in your wing. This guy is implying that she's gonna get everybody in her wing killed. The clipboard guy asked the asshole for his name. Jack Barlow. Not to be confused with Jack Harlow.
Okay, Jack Harlow it is.
I'm picturing Jack Harlow the whole time.
Okay.
Even his voice speaks of arrogance, and Zayden's deep voice taunts her on the side now. Better get going, Sorengale. Interesting. So Zayden has a deep, confident voice, but it doesn't feel as arrogant. It feels very self-assured, more powerful. Jack, it sounds arrogant. Arrogance is when you have no idea what others are capable of, and you lose sight of your own incompetencies. But self-assured is when you know your weak points, but you still know that you can take on your opponent. It's hotter. I don't know. That's all there. That's the clarification. It's hotter. Okay, calm down. Violet needs to focus. Violet needs to get across to remain, she needs to remain calm. That's the only way that this is going to work. She steps 1 foot forward, glances back, and there he is, moving in slow motion. Jack Barlow is trying to push her. So she bolts it. She bolts deeper onto the bridge, literally runs a few steps and realizes, shit, there is no going back now. Either make it to the other side or die. There is no chance to drop out and become a scribe anymore. Keep your mind busy so that your body can go into a state of flow and you can get across. The more you think about what the stakes are, the less you're going to perform. That's what her dad always told her. Violet starts reciting out loud random things that her dad would drill into her as a scribe. He has to take logs of everything that happens, keep track of history. So yes, he's a bit of a history buff. So she takes a step further onto the bridge. The continent is home to 2 kingdoms. Like, I love the way that the writer just like slowly slid in the world building here, okay? The continent is home to 2 kingdoms. They have been at war for centuries. There is no way to coexist anymore. Which, like, I see what you did there. Navarre is the kingdom that I am resident to, the larger kingdom with 6 unique districts. Peromiel is the kingdom we have been at war with. She's dizzy, but she keeps walking and reciting facts. On the other side of the Peromiel kingdom is a desert that is completely barren. Thunder strikes and Violet crouches down and the whole bridge and her body feels like it's shaking. Violet instinctively crouches, which helps not sway with the wind, but it's always tricky getting your center of gravity back up. She slowly gets back up and takes another step. Within our kingdom, Terrandor, the southern bordering district, shares a border with Peromiel, and they attempted a rebellion. They tried to succeed. It would have left our kingdom and our people completely defenseless, but they did not win. Violet glances back briefly to see where Jack is behind her, hopefully not on the bridge. She would like to see him 200 feet below, but no, he's steady. He's just standing on the bridge as if he's waiting for someone at the entrance of a school building. The wind is not even affecting this man, but why is he not walking forward? This is weird. Violet takes another few steps. She's reciting what each district in the kingdom is known for producing in terms of exports and natural resources when she hears a high-pitched scream, turns around to see Jack grabbing the next boy coming up behind him on the bridge, grabbing him by his backpack straps and throwing him off the bridge like a bag of sand. Bro. Holy shit. Then he turns around, makes eye contact with Violet through the rain and smiles. You're next, Sorengale. Get ready. And he starts taking big steps towards Violet. He's moving fast. His arms are in motion as if he's not on a bridge. He's just sprinting down a hallway. His balance doesn't even seem to waver, not even a little bit. And his mouth is turning into a sick little smile. I'm coming for you. You're dead, Sorengale. Violet starts booking it. Rain's coming down. She can barely keep her eyes open. Right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot. Are you going to scream the whole way down? His voice is closer, but Violet can't risk looking back now. She has to keep laser focused, keep running, keeping the balance on the bridge. She can see the other side of the bridge, the building, the opening, the open platform where everyone that's made it is standing, and another woman with a clipboard is waiting to take her name so that the scribes can record who died and who did not die that day. And Violet was not gonna forking die. Jack is screaming, come on, you should be thanking me for ending your life painlessly. It's better than when the dragons get to you, eat you piece by piece. The dragons might be insulted that you would even think that one of them would even match with someone like you.
Why is he so vile? Like, what's going on here?
I think his mommy didn't love him. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Like, come on.
I know. He's got some mommy issues. Come on, Jack Harlow.
What's the song?
That's who's on the bridge right now. This is who on the bridge right now. He's like, I'm running. I'm vanilla, baby. I'm coming for you. Also, I hate this. Where did you get this? This is the worst fucking dessert I've ever had in my life. Anyway, Violet starts running faster. Her arms are just like shifting with the direction of the wind, and she looks like a well-oiled plane, just like keeping the momentum. She's got to keep the momentum. But that is a nasty, nasty biscuit.
What?
They're like what you expect in like a 90-year-old Chinese grandma's house when you're like really craving some fucking Oreos or cookies, and then she's like, you want something sweet? And she gives you like one of those nutty, biscuity, not sweet, durian flavored, jujube infested. And it's like just not hitting the spot, and it's like in a metal tin. And you're like, I just want to go home and eat a fucking bag of hot Cheetos. Anyway, 10 more feet. That's all Violet has to do. And she can hear her fucking little heart pitter-pattering in her chest. She's pushing her body to the max and ready to lunge at the cold concrete. She can hear Jack's footsteps now getting faster and faster behind her. And he reaches his hand out to grab her backpack so that he can swing her off the bridge. And she pushes her body forward. He misses. She throws her entire body onto the concrete ledge and she makes it onto the courtyard, but barely. She's on the edge laying there. She spins around so that her back is on the ground, and she seamlessly pulls out a dagger out of her corset, has it up against Jack, and he's about to lean down and grab her. He's still standing on the bridge. All it takes is one arm to reach out, grab her by the hair, grab her by the backpack straps, hurl her off the bridge. She's so close. He could honestly just push her. The only thing stopping him, she pushes the dagger a little bit deeper so he can feel it rubbing up against him. The dagger is up against his testes. Oh, yeah. They stay like that with everyone else that's made it just watching from 20 feet away because they're like, I kind of want to see how this plays out. Like, I kind of want to know the vibes, you know? But they're all scared. And then a man's strong voice speaks up. Well, Jack, it seems Cadet Sorengale has actually have you by the balls. Now, regulation states that you cannot kill another rider during formations, which we are in right now in front of the other cadets. So formation is basically when any of the professors, generals, commanders, any of them are with the cadets, you can't kill another cadet. So you can't kill them in your sleep is what we've gathered so far. Like, you can't kill them while they're asleep. You can't kill them when any professors or commanders are around. Yeah.
That's something.
Mm-hmm. So if you'd like to kill Sorengale, you'll have to do it on your own time, not ours. Or in the sparring ring if you want to help us clean up the blood. But there are no rules on castrating someone while cadets are in formation. So what's it going to be, Violet Sorengale? You going to leave our boy Jack a eunuch? Basically, castrate him.
Damn.
Violet presses her dagger deeper into his pants. She hasn't drawn blood yet, but she so badly wants to cut off his little prized mini little gripes off. But that's only going to make him want to kill her more. Why does he even want to kill her right now in the fucking first place? First of all, I don't know. Violet looks at Jack and he sneers at her and asks the man a question. And what if I snap her neck the minute I get onto the platform, sir? Then we execute you on sight via a dragon. We don't have time for trials in the Riders Quadrant, so we'll throw you to the dragons. Violet looks up at Jack. So, are you going to listen to him? I have no choice, do I? He raises his palms up like a, there, look at me, I give up. Violet slowly lowers her dagger. She gets up and Jack steps onto the platform. He never breaks eye contact with her. And as he walks past her, he rams his shoulder into hers, almost knocking her down. And he stops and he smirks at her lack of balance. You're going to die in here, Sorengale. You're going to die. And I'm going to be the one to do it.
These people, like, knowing this is General's daughter,
yeah,
are being that crazy? Like, they're not scared?
No, because the General can't do anything. Because it's free game.
Can do anything.
Yeah, the General probably just kill your parents.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, if I were a general and your kid killed my kid, I'm sorry, your parents are gonna die. They're gonna die today.
Yeah, they're gonna go on some like trip and
Yeah, they're gonna go on a whitewater slide and never get off. They're gonna die. Yeah, okay, cool. Villain moment. Jack Barlow, Walmart Jack Harlow. Anyway, Jack Barlow better get in fucking line. If Violet had to place bets on who's going to kill her first, it's not going to be Jack Harlow, okay? It's going to be Xander. But Jack leans in and breathes in her scent. Like, not in a weird sexual way, but in like a weird cadaver dog kind of way, like a hunting dog. Sir, just say you want attention from a woman, okay? You don't have to do all of that. That's a lot. Violet walks towards the main building of the Riders, and it's like this massive, dark, tall building. Especially in the rain, it looks like an underground villain lair just nestled into the side of the mountain. Just home sweet home. It's fucking terrifying. Suddenly, the adrenaline in Violet starts plummeting, and she's no longer feeling like she's being chased by a homicidal grizzly bear in a cyber truck. And that knee that she slammed onto in the bridge is going to give out. She's in a lot of pain. When someone grabs her by the shoulders and spins her around. Violet's got a dagger in the air, but it's just Rhiannon. Oh, sorry. We did it, Violet. She's so bubbly. Violet forces herself to smile. Yay! Yeah, we did it. Her knees are about to give out in front of everyone. She cannot be doing that right now. But also, now that they both made it, can she even trust this girl that she almost risked her life for by swapping shoes? Rhiannon looks at her sincerely. Thank you. Truly. I mean, there were at least a few times I would have died had you not helped me. You were right about my shoes. Violet smiles. Also, have you seen the people here? There's a guy just walking around with a full tattoo sleeve of dragon scales. Oh my god! Rhiannon loops her arm around Violet. She's trying to usher her inside so that they can go celebrate. But Violet, Listen, the only place she's gonna go right now is face first into the floor. She's losing her balance. She's leaning all of her weight on Rhiannon at this point, and she's about to trip over when a tall man in full black leather steps towards them. Violet trips and falls directly onto his rock-hard chest. She almost broke her entire face because that 8-pack is made out of the hardest material in the world. Violet, she looks up, and there it is. She looks up and there it is. Those eyes, those striking brown eyes, except there's a bit of harshness around them now. It's kind of hot. And his chest, like, was it always rock solid like a coffee table? She's got her whole body weight on him and he hasn't even budged, not even a slight loss of balance. And Violet smiles. Dane Atos, the boy she had fantasized about, had turned into a hot, gorgeous specimen. I love that she's like out here objectifying the fork out of these guys. Honestly, good for you, girly pop. Obliterate, objectify, and overcomplicate your life. Like, that has always been my motto, okay? And Violet is going to gag. She's gonna throw up all over his boots. Dane looks pissed, not even because she's about to recreate her lunch special on his riding boots, but what the hell are you doing in the writer's quadrant, Violet? Violet goes still. She forgets about having to throw up, and there's something about his voice. It's harsh now. There's a bite to it. Violet can't help but look up at him and smile. Dane, it's been a minute. She's smiling before the barf. Oh no, I'm gonna be sick. Dane quickly pulls her into a small alcove area in the courtyard so that nobody can see her get sick. That would not be a good look, okay? Hurry, put your head between your knees. It's a clear order. Also, he's kind of being mean right now. Like, geez, she's feeling sick and he can't even say it nicer.
Between her knees or his knees?
Her knees, you weirdo!
But
what?
Why is her head in between her knees?
Because it helps with not wanting to barf.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Wow, so hot. Guys, anytime we flirt in front of other people, like if we ever flirt in front of Didi, the intern, who's no longer an intern, he's always like, Mom, Dad, calm down. Like, do we seem like boomers just flirting? Anyway, he starts rubbing her lower back. Breathe in and out. Big, deep breaths. It's the adrenaline. It can make you feel physically ill when it dies down. And who the fuck are you? Yeah, Rhiannon is also just kind of standing there. Oh, I'm Rhiannon, Violet's, friend? Will you fucking listen to me, Violet's friend?
Why is he so aggressive, dude?
I know. If anyone asks you, tell them exactly what I said. She's having a physical reaction just from the adrenaline wearing off. You got it? Well, I don't really think that it's anyone's business what Violet is doing or not doing. So if they ask, I guess I wouldn't say shit. Besides, I could ask you the same thing. Who the fuck are you? Violet finally lifts her head up and she's feeling better. He's one of my oldest friends, which is kind of an understatement. Dane's dad is actually one of Violet's mom's most trusted advisors. So they've known each other through their parents since they were maybe like 5, 6. And Dane was there for Violet when Brennan died, when her dad died. Oh God, I'm gonna be sick. She shoves her head right back in between her legs again and the feeling was back. I mean, this is crazy. How is puking after I was almost murdered and thrown off the bridge by a homicidal maniac? How is that considered a bad, weak look? Like, why do I have to hide something like this? It would be a weak look because it's considered weak. Are you hurt? Did he hurt you? I mean, my knee hurts. I landed on my knee on the bridge. Dane smiles. A bad knee is not the worst thing in the world after what she just went through. And he grabs her face and holds her chin in his hand. And he starts scanning her face left to right, moving it to catch the light. Are you sure you're good everywhere else? Yes, I'm sure. Are you wearing daggers? Violet nods as she reaches down to swap shoes with Rhiannon. Dane is like seeing this show. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. Why would you swap shoes with someone that you just met and put your life in even more danger than it already is? Violet? Do you trust this one? Violet looks up at Rhiannon. I mean, she could have easily, I don't know, pushed her off the bridge like Jack did to the other guy. Or she could have helped Jack kill her. But she didn't. She also didn't want people to know that she was sick. So, yeah, I mean, I guess she could trust her. I mean, at least as much as you can trust someone in a place like this. Violet nods and Dane introduces himself. I'm Dane, leader of the 2nd Squad, Flame Section, 2nd Wing. Both the girls look impressed. Violet looks a little more confused. To get up to the ranks of squad leader by your second year, that's almost unheard of. There's not a lot of ranks in the Rider quadrant because people are constantly plopping dead. So it's a lot of work to constantly give out titles only to have them die. And then you got to like fill the position again, which means Dane must really know what the fork he's doing. Dane arranges for both of Violet and Rhiannon to be in a squad that he's the leader of. So the way that it works is in the fourth quadrant, there's 4 wings. They get broken down into 3 sections. So each wing is broken down into 3 sections. Then each section has a total of 3 squads. So squad.
Jeez. Okay, hold
So
on.
each wing has 3 sections. Each section of each wing has 3 squads. So a total of 36 squads, 12 sections, and 4 wings.
And he's the what?
Squad leader.
Wait, is that the very bottom one?
Very bottom one.
Oh,
But it's still very
I'm
impressive.
so sorry. Squat, and then what's above that?
Section.
Squat, section, okay, and then wings.
Yes.
Got it, okay.
Each squad has a leader, and every section has a section leader who's in charge of all the squad leaders. Then every wing has a leader, the wing leader, and they're the top guys in charge, minus the professors and commanders, I'm assuming. And there's only 4 of them because there's only 4 wings. And there's about 15 people per squad.
So 15 times 36. Quick math. 540?
540.
500,
But-
only 540 riders.
Yes, and these are like across all the years. So you have first year, second year, and third years. Yeah, and there's about 15 people per squad. So like these are the people that you're going to be with for the rest of the year. And picking that squad, who's on your squad, is very crucial. If you have a weak squad, that could mean the difference between life or death for anyone. Dane taking them in is... I don't know, is it really a good choice? Violet can't even get her knee right. She needs to wrap it after falling on it, and Dane is scolding her the whole time. Why the hell are you even here to begin with? You're supposed to be a scribe. What the fuck? Please don't tell me you're on some sort of ruin your life, kill yourself mission. Did you volunteer for the Writers Quadrant? Side note, so you know how the rest of the quadrants you can be conscripted and forced to join? The Writers Quadrant is the only one that nobody is allowed to be forced to join because it's basically a death wish. You have to volunteer. Yeah, because I'm dying to be here, Dane. Your mom made you do it. Don't you know? Every Sorengale is a writer, meant for the skies. Dane doesn't say anything. It's hard to say whether or not he's scared to offend Violet's mom because, you know, it's Violet's mom, or because her mom is the general. Dane leads her into the building to help finish wrapping her knee. This is the second year floor, which means I'm not supposed to be up here. Don't worry, I'm not going to get you in trouble. If someone catches us, I can start moaning your name and say that I saw you and it was love at first sight and I was so overcome with insatiable lust that I just had to follow you upstairs to get a peek of what's inside your pants. Dane rolls his eyes. You can slam me up against the wall for believability if you need. Dane rolls his eyes once more and he makes a twisting motion with his hands like this. And while they're standing in the middle of the room, on the other side of the room, the lock to the room clicks.
Oh.
You have powers. So to give you context, every writer, once they pair with their dragon, once a dragon chooses them, they're given some sort of power or sometimes multiple powers from the dragon. It's not really a gift. It's more just so like manifest. It shows up within a month or 2 after bonding. And it's typically because the dragon subconsciously wants to make you more powerful so you can better protect them. So not everyone can go like this and the lock's lock. Like, you know what I mean?
Is that like the only thing he can do, like just this?
He can do a lot more, but she doesn't know yet. Now, the 2 of them are just staring seductively at each other. Like there is this charged energy in the air. It is unclear if they've ever done it or how close they are as friends, but neither of them are hiding the fact that they want to boink. Yeah, they do. Violet is maintaining eye contact while shimmying her skin-tight leather pants off. Dane's like, I can turn around. It's fine. Nothing you haven't seen before.
Whoa. They're that aggressive?
Yeah, it's hot until she looks at her knee. It's no longer hot. For anybody else, a fall like that would have just been nothing. But for Violet, her muscles are weak. The ligaments that hold her joints together, they don't work well. And we have no idea why. I can't tell if she's being dramatic or if later on we're going to discover that she's at a disadvantage somehow. But her knee looks busted. Violet walks past Dane after she wraps her knee and she goes to grab the handle of the door to leave. And she's leaning closer into his face. And Dane comments that even past the bridge, Violet's tongue has not dulled. AKA, she's still a little smartass. But Violet is like, well, my tongue can do quite a few things.
No, she said that in the book?
She said you'd be quite impressed. Making progress with your finances can feel really hard, especially when you get hit with like birthdays, anniversaries, unexpected bills. Okay, Tiger has like a new eye thing that's going on and we got to take him to the vet. He's at the vet right now. And it always feels easier to make progress on your financial goals when you have a safety net to fall back on. And Chime is the perfect safety net in my humble opinion. With the Chime checking account, you get features like fee-free overdraft up to $200 with SpotMe, or you can get paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit, and there's no overdraft fees, no monthly fees, or maintenance fees. Here's how it works. Set up your direct deposit into your Chime account. After a qualifying direct deposit of $200 plus, Chime will notify you to enroll in SpotMe. With an activated debit card, Chime will spot you up to your limit when you exceed your balance. Your next direct deposit is applied to your negative balance, and Chime never changes fees or interest for using SpotMe. What's also really cool is their boost feature. So an eligible member gets a complimentary boost to increase a friend's SpotMe limit. And when you give a boost, they can boost you back to raise your limit. It reminds me of when my friends used to send each other boosts in video games, but this is like the adult version that you can actually use to help improve your finances so everybody wins. Take more control of your finances and say goodbye to monthly fees. Open your account in minutes at chime.com/baking. That's chime.com/baking. Chime. Feels like progress. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. members FDIC. SpotMe eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Boosts are available to eligible Chime members enrolled in SpotMe and are subject to monthly limits. Terms and conditions apply. Go to chime.com/disclosures for details. Both of them are just kind of staring at each other at the door, but Dane shakes his head back to reality because she's not supposed to be in here. It would be bad for both of them if someone caught them. We got to get you out of here. They leave all that sexual tension in the room and they start racing down the staircase. There's no railing on the side because of course there's not. And Dane is disgruntled again. He's a grumpy little forker, okay? I can't believe your mom would do this to you. Yeah, well, she's something. There's a doctor's office at the bottom floor and then a door that opens up to a passage that you can take to get to the healer's quad and then straight into the scribe's quad. Violet stops dead in her tracks. What? I can't do that. I'm sorry, why can't you do that? My mom? She's gonna kill us if I go join the scribes now? Violet, this place will kill you first. You can't stay here. Everyone will understand and the scribes will be more than lucky to have you. Violet gets it, but also she's kind of offended. So first of all, 15% of candidates don't make it past the bridge. She made it, so she's already beating the odds. She did accomplish something. Why is he treating her like she's gonna plop dead any second? V, I'm sorry. You did great. You fucking killed that bridge. But the second you get thrown into a sparring ring with another rider, you're going to be dead. And that's all before you can even meet the dragons. The dragons can sense when you're... What? Say it. Sense what? Sense that I'm weak? Damn it. I'm just trying to say, even if you get past to threshing, there's no guarantee that a dragon is going to bond with you. Last year, there were over 35 candidates who didn't get bonded. They need to restart their entire year just to get a chance at bonding again. Go through the process all over, risk death over and over again. I'm trying to keep you alive. If you get to the scribes now, you can still ace their test, get in, and have this crazy story of crossing the bridge and actually live to fucking tell it. And you can't count on me in here. I can't protect you in a place like this. Yeah, well, nobody asked you to, okay? Dane whips around on the steps, and he's on a lower step from Violet. So he's looking up at her, but the way he's glaring makes her feel like she's a tiny little mouse. I'm so dainty. Don't hurt me. I'm so dainty. Do you know what they'll do to you? Purely because you're the general's daughter? Do you know what a story that would be? They will take it slowly, too. They'll rip you to shreds bit by bit, and if they don't do that, the dragons will. Please. Here, there are only two options. Graduate or die. I'm giving you an out, so help me. I'm trying to save you. I can't. You know I can't. My mom's just going to throw me back in here to cross the fucking bridge once more. Either I become a writer or I die trying. That's what she wants, and she made it very clear. There's no way she actually wants that for you. Yeah, well, even Mira couldn't talk her out of it. Dane finally realizes Violet is not being stubborn. Like, why the fork would she want to die trying to ride a dragon? She's not even into dragons like that. Dane tells her to join the other first years in the courtyard while he thinks of what to do next. So the courtyard is this massive teardrop-shaped platform on the edge of the mountain. There is a wall around the edge about 10 feet thick. Violet walks out, taking in the storming sky and all the cadets that have made it. They're all either exhausted from the adrenaline or they're still pumped. She's scanning the crowd and she spots Rhiannon talking to another girl. So the girl's hair is super short, cut like Dane's. She walks over and Rhiannon smiles. Come, Violet, meet Tara. Violet turns and nods at Tara. Tara is interesting. She has the same confidence that Mira has. And she's as outgoing as Rhiannon. And the two of them are going on and on about how much they love dragons. And then slowly the cadets quiet down. The energy shifts and everyone glances up. It's like a presence has arrived. The 3 riders from the bridge walk in, all black leather. Xaden is one of them. But he stands out. Like the way he moves, it looks like he's never moved out the way for anyone before. He's like a shark. And all the other riders, even the rest of the 3rd years, the same year as him, they look like little Nemo fish standing next to him. Violet wonders what kind of dragon he has, if it's big. No, really, like the dragon that he bonded with. Don't be gross. Don't be gross. The 3 riders stop and stand in front of the cadets, and a man walks up. Commander Panchak. Everyone hushes and his voice booms. 301 of you have survived the bridge to become cadets today. Good job. 67 were not as lucky. Everyone starts glancing around trying to gauge that number. 67 is a lot, and it's not going to stop. Likely by the end of year 1, a half of this group is going to be dead. Tara turns to Rhiannon and Violet. I heard he's just here so he can take Sorrengail's job, and then General Malgren's. General Malgren is the commanding general of all the Navarre forces, a step above Violet's mom. So she's like second in command. He is the first. He's top dog.
Whoa.
Violet's met him a few times and he's fucking terrifying. But Violet smirks. Yeah, well, Commander Panchak can keep trying. General Malgren's dragon gives him a signet power to see a battle's outcome before it even takes place. Basically, he can see into the future. How do you get assassinated when you're able to see it beforehand?
Wait, the top dog's dragon can see the future?
Yeah.
That's sick.
Commander Panchak's voice booms louder. You will now be put to the test. Your superiors will test you at every chance, at every corner. Your peers will hunt you down, and all you have are your own instincts. If you survive to threshing, where a dragon has the choice to pick you, if you are chosen by a dragon, you will become a rider. If not, you will not graduate. So let's begin. Let's see how many of you make it to graduation alive. Then the squads, the sections, and the wings are explained to the group. I will say this once. The 4 wing leaders have the final word. If I ever have to get involved in anything, well, just take my word for it. You don't want me involved. Your professors will teach you what you need to survive and excel. However, it is up to you to learn. With that being said, I have one final word of advice. Try not to die. And with that, he steps off the massive stone podium and just walks off. Like, okay, Mr. puts on a show. Look, that can't be me. That can't be me. I can never have my mysterious walk off like that because I'd be coming back to the mic. Wait, before I forget. Wait, one more thing. Wait, just in case. Side note. After the commander leaves, the 4 wing leaders are left to sort out their new squad members. So the first wing is brought up into the podium. Section and squad leaders in formation. The 3 sections in each wing are the claw section, flame section, and tail section. I don't know what they mean, okay?
One more time?
Claw section, flame, and tail. Claw, flame, and tail.
From the dragon.
Yeah, and a red-headed rider with a clipboard walks up. Each of the new cadets will be called into their new squads. So each squad has a mixture of 3rd years, 2nd years, and 1st years. Jack and Tara are both sorted into the first wing in different squads, but the same wing. Then wing number 2 is called up, the 2nd wing, and thankfully Xander is not the wing leader for that one. Dane is a squad leader for the 2nd wing, so this is perfect. Violet and Rhiannon are going to be in the 2nd wing under Dane and hopefully under him at night. Anyway, as expected, Violet and Rhiannon's names are called into the 2nd wing. Flame section, 2nd squad under Dane. Violet's standing there in formation while the rest of the names are called up. She's trying to enjoy some peace right now because it's formation. No one can kill her. I mean, I guess they could, but then they'd also be executed. She's just trying to soak in the vibes when she feels something cold on her skin. She looks to her left and Xaden is studying her, like he's fantasizing about killing her right then and there. And she has the biggest impulsion to look away. It's terrifying, okay? But she meets his eyes and cocks her head like, so what? Then do it already. Xaden smirks, pulls his section and squad leaders aside, and they start whispering. And it sounds like it's getting heated. Whatever they're talking about sounds really intense. Rhiannon whispers, what do you think they're talking about right now? But before Violet can respond, Dane turns around. Shut it. It's not nice, okay? Like, I get it. Violet expected that he can't be nice to her in front of the others. But it was kind of mean, and she's just a girl, okay? You don't have to be so mean about it. And then the red-headed girl speaks up. Dane, your squad will be switched with Aura Banehavens. Dane stiffens, but he nods and he turns to his squad. Follow me. What the fork is going on? His jaw is clenched and Violet wants to ask what's happening, but it's very clear because she sees where they're walking. They're heading straight for the fourth wing into Zayden's wing. Violet's spine stiffens while they take in the new formation, and there's a arrogant smirk on Zayden's face. Zayden is now in charge of Dane and Violet. He could do whatever he wants to Violet. If she so much as breathes the wrong way, he can have her punished, and likely he could probably have her killed.
Wait, I'm so sorry. What rank is Zayden again?
Wing leader, one of the 4 top dogs.
Wow.
When the roll calls are done, everyone is sorted and Zayden turns to his wing. Each section, all 9 squads. Take a look around. Your squad, not your section or your wing, but your squad of 15 people. These are the only people defined by the rules of rider conduct that cannot kill you while you are here. But I assure you, they might want you dead, and others outside of your squad in your same wing will have incentive to hunt you down. So earn your place here, stay alive, and earn a dragon. As the cadets from all the wings start cheering for having made it past being a candidate to a cadet, Violet's stomach churns. She can't help it. She's not going to clap for the fact that 67 people died today. Like, that's too much. And then the loudest clapping noises start coming up like a storm, like it's echoing in the sky in unison. And then there's a gush of air and they look up. It's not clapping. Dragons. And they're fucking huge. Okay, so all these riders, they know that there's dragons, right? But dragons don't really like humans. You have to stay very far away from dragons. Dragons only like the humans that they're bonded to. That's it. Even if you stumble upon one, they'll likely just incinerate you for the fun of it. Just when Violet thinks that they're going to keep flying past and just fly circles, they stopped abruptly and they almost land straight down like a UFO. The wind that they cause almost knocks the cadets backwards because they're like bigger than the building. The walls that are 10 feet tall, Violet thought that they were around the courtyard to prevent the students from jumping, falling, or being thrown off. Or I don't know, from outsiders trying to ambush them.
They're footresters?
One of the dragons lands on it to hang out, and when he lands, the rocks just tumble down from the perch. They're massive. Like one of them is the biggest one. It's this navy blue one. There's also a red one and 2 green ones. But
there's only 4?
There's many, but these are the wing leaders, dragons. They showed up to see.
Oh, dang.
And the biggest one is this navy blue one, and like you were like the size of their one tooth. Yeah. Yeah, some cadets scream in bloody terror because, you know, it's very cool to be a dragon rider and you think it's all cool and I want to do that until you see a dragon in your face. Just breathing nostril air is enough to take you out. Not just the smell, maybe the smell, but in the wind force, you know? There's a navy blue dragon sitting directly across from the 4th wing, Zayden's wing. And I guess Violet's wing now too. And a few of the other dragons, they're just staring. And the biggest one is the navy one right in front of them. They're just staring at the cadets, and you can just tell through the eyes of the dragon. They're disgusted by them. Just pure judgment in their eyes. That's it. I already have enough social anxiety, and now I gotta be like, does that dragon like me? Does that dragon hate me? Do you think the dragon likes me, honey? That's crazy. Like, dragons naturally hate humans. The only reason that they even bond with the human is for protection. They want to protect Navarre. Not because they care for Navarrians or Navarre, but Navarre is the birthplace of dragons. There's a section called the Vale that none of the humans are allowed in, and it's the home of the dragons where they lay offspring. So it's more of a partnership than anything. The dragons also gain power to protect Navarre through the bond with the humans. So without it, I don't think the dragons would fork with any of these people. They would just incinerate them all. Yeah. Violet wants to throw up though. I mean, they're beautiful, don't get me wrong, but the idea of riding on one seems absolutely unhinged, unfathomable. She turns to the wooden doors that lead to the rider's building, and the words are carved at the center. They're giant. A dragon without its rider is a tragedy. A rider without their dragon is dead. So yeah, one of the cadets is so scared that they start screaming and is about to run away, and he gets incinerated, basically melted ash on the grass because one of the dragons did not like that. So 68 dead now. Yeah, flames just come out of the dragon's tongue. And then 2 more gusts of heat, 70 dead the first day. Why did the dragons kill them? Because they were scared. They were trying to run away. They were trying to go back home. The enormous navy blue one looks straight into Violet's eyes. Oh, she's next. But you know what? She's not going to run like the other cadets. She's going to die. She's going to die standing right here looking at the dragon in the eye, chin held up. The blue dragon studies her for a second and then unsquints its eyes. But it's not a look of impressed. It's a look of, I'm bored again. Saved Violet's life either way. Okay, she lives to see another day. Xaden smirks and turns to the group. Do you feel invincible because you crossed that bridge and others did not? Well, don't. The first year, half of you will die. The second year, a third of you will die. And another year, the third year, another third will die after that. Nobody cares who you are in here, who your mommy or daddy are. Even Kintaru's second son died during his threshing. So tell me, how do you feel being sorted into the fourth wing? Do you feel untouchable? Like you did something? Like you achieved something? Everyone is quiet. Exactly. Another dragon incinerates another cadet, but only the bottom half of them. Kind of sadistic if you ask me. Xaden continues, because to dragons, you're nothing. You're not elite or smart or fast. To them, you're just prey. The next morning, all the cadets show up back in the courtyard to listen to the scribes. The scribes are... Oh God, how Violet wishes she was one of them. They show up every morning to read the death scroll, so there's that. Everyone that died the day before and during the night, so that's great. All the cadets are now in black, just not leather. Black is the uniform for a cadet, as well as the riders, but you only get the leathers when you start riding. Everyone looks slightly exhausted this morning. I mean, I think it's going to take some time getting used to sleeping in the barracks for the rest of the first year. There is zero privacy. You can hear every little thing all night long. It's basically one big open space with 156 beds positioned in rows. You only get a private room once you start the threshing and a dragon chooses you. It's a privilege. The second and third years are released to classes, but the first years are going to stick around in the courtyard. Dane turns to them. Stick together, first years. I expect you all to be alive when I check on you this afternoon in the sparring gym. Oh, shit. So of every few days of the week, they have sparring days, meaning everyone fights in the ring, and they fight to kill here. They also have mandatory gym sessions so that everyone can get stronger before the gauntlet. The gauntlet is happening in 2 months. It's a vertical course that you have to complete. It's like imagine like a marathon course, like an obstacle course, but it's only vertical. Everything has to do with height because you're basically riding on a dragon. And if you fall, you die.
Oh, it's like a rock climbing.
But probably shit's going on too. It's not just like climbing. Right. And that's when all the dragons will fly around and scope out all the new cadets and see if they like any of them. They're not choosing any of them, but it's just like an initial look. And do I like any of these bitches? Yeah. So... Great.
Oh, that's why it's called fourth wing.
Yeah.
They're in fourth wing. Makes sense.
So Violet needs all the training that she can get. And in Violet's squad, there's a guy named Sawyer. He's really nice, and he's kind of guiding the rest of the first years through the first day in classes and the academic schedule, because you also have academic classes you have to pass. Sawyer is technically a first year, but he's a repeat. So he went through all of this last year, but a dragon did not choose him. So he's doing it all over again. And honestly, Violet has a lot of respect for him, because how do you survive the first year, see everything that you see, experience everything you experience, and still decide to do it again? Because they don't force you to do it again. You could choose a different quad. Sawyer turns to the group. You have 20 minutes before classes start. 4th floor is the academic wing. Get your shit. Don't be fucking late. Oh! Okay, Sawyer. Violet's about to walk towards the building with Rhiannon, but she hears a bird whistling, and she stops. It's Dane whistling. She knows that tune from anywhere. She spots him under a staircase, motioning for her to follow him in through the door. Rhiannon sees it too. Do you want me to grab your stuff from under your bunk and bring it to class? Sorry, do you mind? No, not at all. Thank you so much. Violet runs over to Dane and they slip into the rotunda, which is like a cathedral. It's beautiful. It is one of the most beautiful spaces she has ever been, like a round courtyard. The room is 3 stories tall, polished marble floors, domed glass ceiling. It's nothing like the rest of the writing headquarters. It's incredible. The light is bouncing softly off the walls, the marble pillars carved into dragons as if they came in through the ceiling, crashing into the It's beautiful. And it's empty. Violet is soaking it in. She's read about it in the archives, but this is her first time seeing it in real life. Dane is trying to get straight down into business. We have a few minutes. How's your knee? Good. I mean, not good, but I'll live. Nobody's tried to screw you with you last night? Screw me? No. Why? Are you jealous? You know what I'm asking right now. No, Dane, no one tried to kill me last night, okay? Dane tries to redirect the conversation into one that involves Violet chopping off her hair. He's telling her that it's for her own sake, okay? Her safety. In the sparring ring, when someone grabs your hair, you're basically done for. They can just slit your throat. But Violet is like, oh yeah? Well, trust me. That's the least of my concerns because I'm going to die in 23,000 different ways anyway. So, you can go suck it, okay? But wait. Dane, why was our squad moved from the second wing to the fourth wing yesterday? Dane's jaw clenches and he looks away. Just tell me. I want to know. Zayden. It was Zayden. He wants you dead. So he did this. So he can get revenge for what my mom did to his dad? Yeah, I mean, I guess I already knew the answer then. Don't worry, Violet. I'm not going to let him get to you. Yeah, well, thank you, but what can you even do about it? He walks up to her and brushes his finger on her cheekbone. Keep a low profile, especially in battle brief. The class? What? Not the sparring ring? Look, nobody's gonna fucking kill me during history class. I think class is the last place I should be scared. What is Zayden gonna do? Walk up and bonk me on the head with the textbook? Stab me in the middle of battle brief class? It's the one class where all the first years, second years, and third years are mixed in together. And yeah, I wouldn't put it past Zayden to pull some shit like that. You don't get it. He's fucking ruthless, Violet. Why do you think that his dragon chose him? The navy blue one yesterday? The biggest one there was yesterday, the one that looks like it hates every human, judging them? Scale. She's a blue dagger tail. She's vicious. Look, don't get me wrong. My dragon, Kath, he gets riled up. He's a nasty piece of work. Red sword tails are known to be that way. But even Kath stays away from Scale. Violet studies Dane. Red sword tails are very powerful, which means his only power cannot be locking doors telepathically. What signet powers do you have? Some riders get some crazy ones. Fire, ice, water, control over the elements. And then there's the insane ones. Violet's mom can control storms. So great. Why couldn't she fucking make it not stormy yesterday? Okay? Great. Commander Melgren can see the outcome of battles. What's Dane's? What's Xander's? Dane is quiet. I can read a person's recent memories. But not telepathically or anything. Don't worry, I'm not invading your space. I have to put my hand on the person's temples. Nobody knows it yet, other than a few generals. I suspect that they're going to put me in intelligence once I graduate. Violet smiles. That is so cool. Yeah, I'm still learning, but I'm getting better at it every day. But yeah, I have to put my hands on your temples and I can see what you've recently seen. It's kind of an incredible feeling.
It's like an iPhone.
Yeah. They're having a cute little moment when the door swings open to the rotunda and, oh shit, Zayden Ryerson is watching Violet, staring straight into her soul, and Violet feels her heart thumping in her throat. Her fingers are twitching. She's ready to grab one of her daggers. The marble floors. What a shame. The blood is going to stain them. Likely her blood, but like, what does it matter to her? She's not going to be the one cleaning it up because she's going to be dead. Dane notices Violet is in a trance almost. What? He turns around, makes eye contact with Zayden, and he smirks. Zayden yells across the rotunda, and now there's a few people in there.
Who's smirking?
Zayden.
Oh.
I already knew that your parents were close, but you two really have to make it so obvious? A few of the cadets whip around to stare at Dane and Violet. Great. Word's gonna get out. Let me guess. Childhood sweethearts, first love. Violet starts running through the code of conduct in her brain. She turns to Dane. He can't hurt you, Dane. Wing leaders cannot hurt their own section or squad leaders without good reason, a cause. Article 4, Section 3. Dane looks at her, eyes wide. Yeah, but you're not a squad leader. They both look at Zayden, and he smiles, and Dane turns to Violet. Run. Go. Run now. Violet turns out the rotunda and runs like her life depends on it, because it does.
Wait, he's just gonna straight up start killing her?
Yeah.
In public?
And that's where I leave you with part 1.
What?
Yeah. And I will see you on Monday for part 2.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
I like this one a lot. I like this more than the furries.
The fairies.
The fairies. I'm sorry.
Whoa.
No, I'm thinking like the wolf and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they are furry.
They're furry, yeah.
Yeah. They do get a little furry.
Yeah, but I like this more.
You like the dragons more?
For sure. Yeah, dragon is much better. Yeah.
Really? Okay. Well, stay tuned for Monday for the next part. And I will see you guys on Monday. Bye.